it's Sal Jade. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to plug my speaker in. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Sal Jade, and I'm really going to start this again. Hello, it's Sal Jade. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to present this live presentation for you on the 3 biggest mistakes that most online readers make and how you can avoid them. This is going to be a very short but sweet. Those who know me well know I do these monthly seminars that go for about an hour. This is very short and sweet. I just want to get to the point really quickly and straight away. If you are joining me live, please pop into the chat box and let me know your name and where you're from, and you can of course ask any questions at the end. If you are watching this on the replay, so if you're watching this on YouTube, then please do hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of these seminars that I do, and also put hashtag replay and I will answer your questions for you. It might take me up to about 7 days, but I will get back to you. Hello Mercedes, hello Marcy, thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going to get straight to it right now because I want to really help you guys as much as you can. If you're here, it's because you perhaps been trying to get yourself out there for a while as an online reader, and whether you're a tarot reader or a psychic reader with oracle cards or channeling or mediumship, or whether you are working as a healer or a combination of all of those, it can be incredibly frustrating to constantly be posting offers or constantly trying to figure out how to navigate the online world. And in this journey, we can make 1,000 mistakes. And I really want to say before I begin, I have made 1,000 mistakes, and I'm actually going to use myself as a test subject. So feel free to laugh at me along the way. I won't take it personally. Sometimes laughing at ourselves is the only way we deal with our mistakes and our tragedies. So I'm going to show you and give you a bit of a peek behind the scenes of my business as well to help you, and some of the mistakes I've made and how I've managed to shift that and managed to grow my business in a better way. And I'm also going to be helping you if you've got, as I said, any questions. And for those of you who are brand new and you're wanting to start an online business, can I please say, I don't want to scare you off running an online business. Like, running an online business has given me one of the biggest joys of my life. I am so fortunate that I wake up most days of the week when I'm working. I don't work every day, and I get to do what I love. I get to talk about tarot and healing, and I get to help people, and I get to create courses, and I get to teach about healing and reading, and that's what I love. And for me, taking my business from offline to online, I'm going to talk a bit about that later, that transition. That was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And the freedom and flexibility and how I've been able to live my life, I know why people want to work online. Like, it is a phenomenally awesome thing to do with your life. However, and this is why I don't want you to think this is a negative thing. I've used the word 3 mistakes. I don't want you to feel ashamed if you've made these, and I don't want you to feel like this is going to be a bunch of me throwing negative stuff at you, but I just want you to be prepared. And if you're doing this already in your business, I'd like you to try to think about reflecting on stopping, and I will give you some solutions. I'm going to give you some free solutions here to come up with ways that you're not going to keep doing this. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started with mistake number 1. Now, this is not as an entrepreneur, this is not my statement. I have borrowed this from many people who I look up to and who have been my business coaches over the years, but you might have heard it before, but please stick with me because I'm going to elaborate it a bit more as it goes with online tarot readings and psychic readings and healings. And that is, the vast majority of people I see who are trying to promote their online business are just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. Now, I'm sure you can visually all imagine what that means. They are putting out offers on Facebook and Instagram, and it might be reels, or it might be in paid groups, or it might be on their business page, and they're saying, hey, I'm a tarot reader, I'm offering readings. Hey, I'm doing love readings. Hey, pick a card and follow me on my YouTube channel. Hey, maybe not even the hey, I'm chucking the hey in there. Sometimes people even go one step further and put nothing, and they just post something on their, like a YouTube link or something, or they just post an Instagram reel, and there's no engagement, and there's no words, and the vast, and even, as I said, things like the pick a card, like, or I'm offering discounted readings, or I've got, I'm doing $5 readings today, or things like that, like these very generic ways of trying to attract clients to your business, whether it be via free or via paid. Now, the big problem with this, first of all, is 5 years ago, the strategy of pick a card to try to build up your reach on Facebook. Those of you who don't understand that word, if you're really new to the online word, reach is just when you're trying to get yourself out there more to become more of an authority and to attract more people to your business. So you're expanding your reach by doing pick a card, maybe in your business page, maybe in a group, or anything that says, if you want this, say amen or say yes or whatever. Now, these are the once upon a time worked as strategies to engage 5 years ago. Now, I used to teach this in my advanced tarot and psychic business course 5 years ago. If you are someone who is one of my advanced people, and I can see Mercedes is right now, I'm upgrading your course, my love, because this strategy no longer works. I'm upgrading all my advanced tarot and psychic business programs on the Psychic Healing Academy for this reason, because this strategy worked 5 years ago. Facebook is smarter than all of us. They don't make the smartest decisions all the time, but they know when people are sort of gaming the system to get reach and they don't like it. And anything that is a yes ladder or says pick a card, they no longer will show it to as many people. B, it's an incredibly low conversion rate. In fact, if you are out there right now and you've been doing pick a card, or even when you're just showing a spread and, this is your cards for today, and if you are getting 15 to 20 readings a week out of that, which is what you need a minimum really to run a business, then please pop your name in here and let me know. And I'm very happy to be proven wrong with no other thing that you're doing except for that. Because that is the primary strategy that I see most people. In fact, I've even seen in Tarot Mastery, I've seen people say, how can I get my business started? And a whole bunch of people will say, oh, just do pick a card readings, or just go on Instagram and do a reel and talk about a tarot card. Yes, 5 years ago. And again, it's so understandable why people think that's a good strategy, because everyone looks like they're doing it. And that's why it's a bad strategy. And that's why for me, it's like if you start to see lots of people are doing things, then that's a strategy that Facebook and Insta, as the parent company of, so you know what I mean? Facebook owns Insta. They don't want people gaming their system. And so they will actually shut those down and make sure they don't get much reach. And for me, what I want you to start thinking of doing is how you can narrow your message to target people who are going to be perfect for you, for your readings. Spaghetti at the wall means you're just throwing anything and hope it works. Going into who can I help and how can I help them? And people get afraid. They think, oh no, that's too specific. There's not enough people that want this. But I know of entrepreneurs who talk about, they've created courses about how to make a parrot talk. Now, who on earth can you think could make money out of that? And those of you who know my courses on Udemy, I really wanted to teach past life therapy. I'm a huge fan of past life therapy. I've done it a lot with my clients. And I wanted to do a course like that on Udemy, but there were so many already on there. Even when I was starting 6 years ago and thinking about I'm ready to create my next course. And so I thought, hey, I would love to work with clients and students who are psychics and healers and get traumatized every time they try to put themselves out there and get blocked because of their past lives. And so that to me became my narrow market. And people, you may have heard the niche market, like people talk about targeting your message to someone who you can help. So instead of saying, hi, I'm doing love readings, say, have you just broken up with someone and you're feeling really heartbroken and need spiritual guidance? Like, that's a totally different thing. And that will attract the people who are looking for what you are selling. So please stop doing generic posts, and please don't ever do a post where you just post a link to your YouTube channel. And give people a reason to want to follow you and want to click, because there are thousands and thousands of people offering readings online. And I don't want that to put you off, because as I said, I've got some great strategies for you. I've got a free webinar coming up in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to put a link in there. It's called Grow Your Tarot Business Online, or Grow Your Healing Business, Grow Your Psychic Business Online. It's a full 1 hour masterclass that has a 6 to 12 month plan on how you can best get these strategies nailing in your business, so that you can start to feel like you're not just spending your whole life on Facebook or Insta and not getting any clients. So I'll pop that in. If you're watching this in the replay on YouTube, you'll find it in the description. And I will if you're on Facebook Live, I'll put it here. And it's also, if you're on Facebook, it's in my featured section or my pinned posts. But yes, I'm running that because I wanted to help people on a much deeper level with some more in-depth strategies as well. And if you're asking questions, thank you. I'm going to answer them. Just let me get through this, because as people who know me well, if I say I'm going to do a 15-minute seminar, I can go on for hours. So I need to stop myself, but I will answer your beautiful questions. Thank you. So that first one, think about getting really specific. And if you're like, how do I do that, Sal? What do you mean? That sounds hard. What kind of readings do you love? What kind of readings are you passionate about? Like for me, I loved doing readings that help people with their life purpose. And so I advertised that a lot. And that was the kind of clients I attracted. So and even with my Udemy courses, for me, it's not just about teaching psychic development. I like to go in deeper as a tarot healer and going in more and just fortune telling. So think about problems that people have that you see out there, and you can even start with your friends, like what kind of questions are they asking you, and then focus that on, and again, but go for readings you enjoy. If you don't like doing health readings, don't advertise yourself as a health reader. If you don't like doing love readings, then focus on other areas. And that way you'll not only have so much joy and pleasure when you are doing your job online, but you will start to attract people who are looking for exactly what it is you're offering. So I hope that helps, my love. Start reflecting on that a little bit. And as I said, I've got that seminar coming up, which is going to give you even more ideas as well. Now, the second one, the biggest mistake, and again, this is something that it's very understandable that everyone's making right now, because not as many people know this, and that is, once upon a time, it was a really good strategy to put all your eggs in the basket of Facebook and now Insta. That was a great strategy to build your business. I built a lot of my business on Facebook, not Insta because I'm only just new there, but Facebook, I built huge amounts of my business. However, mistake number 2, in the last 12 to 18 months, Facebook has massively changed their algorithms. Now, before you switch off and you go, Sal, I don't want to talk about algorithms, that's technical and boring. I want you to think about how many hours you've spent until now posting on Instagram and posting on Facebook. These things don't take 3 minutes. I can spend an hour putting a post together. So think about how long you've spent and go, if I could learn for this next 5 minutes about an algorithm and how that's changed, that could massively change how I attract clients to my business. So, got the tech talk out of the way. Facebook, what happened in a nutshell is that Facebook, and again, I'm not here to bag out Facebook. Facebook's helped me enormously, the different argument. Facebook has always been a business, and their big priority has obviously been to get people to buy Facebook ads. Now, Facebook ads are not a great return on your investment unless you are already earning a lot and have a lot. Like selling your readings on a Facebook ad is not, you could spend $300 on an ad and maybe get 1 email. So that's not the strategy I would really suggest to do. And in the last 12 to 18 months, it has changed but other people used to be able to go and set up groups and rely more on your Facebook page and connect with people, and you could actually grow your business a lot more that way. In the last 12 to 18 months, 2 things happened. The first is that Apple basically said to Facebook, you can't keep targeting people in advertising anymore without their permission. And so they shut down this whole privacy thing. And that lost Facebook a lot of money. And the second thing that happened is that Mark Zuckerberg, or Facebook, they bought the metaverse thing, and they've started this whole metaverse thing, which again has cost them a lot of money. Now, they're a business, they're running a business, no judgment on that, but they have now become a lot more ruthless. And I know it's ironic because I'm speaking to you from Facebook. I love you, Facebook, but about getting revenue and driving you towards Facebook ads. And so things that once worked, like being able to post in Facebook groups and being able to connect with people online in Facebook and build up your way through your social media channels and things like that, they're just not working as much anymore. And look, I really started noticing it about 12 months ago, and I'm going to give you, if you're thinking, really, Sal, I'm going to share with you in my business how I've seen this play out. So just to give you an idea, pre-pandemic, so when all this happened, whenever I would pop into Tarot Mastery or Psychic Healing Hub or How to Be Psychic or even other groups, and I would post that I'm doing one of my free seminars, I would get at least 100, 200, 300 people sort of showing up, and I'd get at least maybe 150 live, but I would get a huge reach, and then that would grow and expand, and it was a great way for me to build and grow my business. It was a great thing, like doing what I'm doing now, basically. Interestingly enough, this free webinar that I'm running in 2 weeks, I posted in this group, this one, so there's a few groups I'm broadcasting in right now, but in Tarot Mastery, which is connected to my Tarot Card Success course, I posted in this 8 days ago. There's 10,000 people in this beautiful group. I love this group. I love the energy and the vibe in it. I love helping people with their tarot readings. 10,000 people are in this group. I posted a free thing, and I'm constantly getting emails and messages for people who want to know how to start their business. So I know there's a demand for this. 10,000 people in this group. In the last 8 days, only 521 people have reached it, not even commented or liked or signed up, but that means Facebook has only exposed it to 521 people out of 10,000. Now, that's not a great reach for the fact that I've spent 7 years building up this gorgeous group, and I've obviously spent a lot of money and time helping nurturing the relationships, which I don't, I love doing it. But keep that in mind if you're thinking, maybe I'll go start a Facebook group, or maybe I'll rely on that as my, my Facebook business page. Keep in mind, that's not really a great, out of all that, I think it was, I've written it down here, I had 16 comments out of 10,000 people, and 8 of those comments were me replying and thanking them. So I had 8 comments out of 10,000 people. Now the reason, and someone's written here, that sucks. Look, I'm not angry about this. Facebook's a business. This is what I mean by it's good to understand their algorithms. You don't have to study their algorithms all the time. I certainly don't. But a couple of times a year I check in and I go, I'm not getting sales, or I'm not getting even on free offers. What's going on? And then I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Maybe it's only happening in Australia or just to me, but I think it's happening worldwide. Something weird they have been doing is when I'm doing my scrolling, I'm going to talk to you a bit about scrolling later, when I'm just sitting there, watching television or waiting at the bus stop or doing whatever I'm doing, and I always say waiting at a bus stop. I haven't waited at a bus stop in years. Waiting for my coffee or something. But whenever I'm doing this, I've started noticing that even though I belong to a lot of groups, and even though I don't have a lot of, personal friends I went to high school with, and people that I've sort of worked on in VIP programs with that they've coached me or I've coached them. Look, I don't have lots and lots of friends on Facebook, but I have noticed that I am just getting the same people popping up in my Facebook thing as if and I'm a big fan, and that's one of my other extra tip. I'm a huge fan of making sure that you support other businesses. If I see someone I know who's worked with me or bought one of my big programs, and I love to like them. If I see that they're offering something, I like to support that. But I started noticing the other day, I'm like, I have seen this woman's post who I've worked with years ago. I have seen her postings 5 times today, and she's not posting every day. I'm getting her stuff from 4 or 5 days ago. But it's only her and maybe 3 other people, but not the hundreds of other people or all my other groups. And I started thinking, I feel like they're just kind of making me almost, showing it to such a small amount of people that you'll get frustrated and feel like, okay, well, I'll just go and pay for ads if you're someone who is promoting. And as I said, and I started thinking, this is really strange. Why is this happening? It used to be that you would see nearly everyone that you were connected with, especially in groups, but now I'm only seeing 1 or 2 people. And so I'm kind of like, okay, that is really odd. And as I said, I think it's just one of their strategies. Let's not get angry. Let's not waste our energy on, that's going to get us nowhere in our business world. Cursing and, declaring a pox on the house of Facebook. That's not going to work. Plague, sorry, not a pox. That's not going to do anything. But let's look at other strategies. Let's start thinking, okay, maybe I need to concentrate on YouTube or an email list or other ways and creatively. And something I will tell you that I'm sure you're all aware of, but please, if you can take one thing out of this little quick seminar, please put your phone down so you can concentrate on coming up with new ideas for your business. The biggest problem I have with keeping all of your business on Facebook is that you can spend hours and hours thinking you're working, but you are actually really seeing about the floods and saying someone's cat died and seeing someone's brother who's got cancer and seeing, this horrific thing that some politician did that you hate, and you are engaging on another level. So if you worked in an office, for example, imagine if you were sitting there and you had a big lot of work to do and you just got pop-ups every 1.5 minutes with stuff that was nothing to do with what you were going on and stuff that made you angry, stuff that made you feel like you have to give and help and support, which is a good thing, nothing wrong with that. But if you're doing that 3 or 4 hours a day, then you're not getting enough space to create and come up with new ideas. And so I find, for me, I don't want anyone to walk away and leave Facebook because of what I've said today, or leave Instagram. Keep doing it, but just think about other strategies and also just step back from doing as much of it, because you need to give yourself space to come up with new ideas and better ideas of how to start attracting clients. Because as I said, I noticed that, and my funny story, it actually happened to me yesterday. So I'm preparing for this webinar. Sometimes can take me a bit creative and beautiful, like the Queen of Cups. Sometimes it can take me a little bit Queen of Swords, where I'm very, because I have to structure it and I have to make sure it makes sense. And so I'm sitting there all morning. I'm in a really good mood. The weather's hot for the first time in ages. I'm in a great mood, and I'm in the car on the way to see my acupuncturist. And I'd just been scrolling before about the housing crisis on the Sunshine Coast where I live, and I just went into this massive story, like, I can't believe that they did this, and really the politicians hadn't done this, and I just was going off my head. I was having this really hilarious, like gremlins just all fighting each other while I'm going to my acupuncturist to calm down and relax. And I had to stop myself and going, this is Facebook. This is what Facebook does. And so I had to go, okay. And I was doing that while I was working, that was coming into my working space. And so can I just say, please put down the phone every now and then and maybe just journal some ideas. And just, as I said, I've got this webinar coming up, sign up to this webinar, I've got lots of free tips for you. And just think about, okay, maybe just being on Facebook and Instagram is not going to be the only strategy I have. And the scary statistic is that they say roughly in developing countries, not developing, but in countries, in developing and first world countries, people can be spending up to 2.5 hours a day. That is 15 hours a week. That is a degree. It's a part-time job. You could be doing so many better things than just scrolling. So I wanted you to think, and the reason why we used to do it, or we do it, is because we think, well, I have to do it for my business. But unfortunately, 5 or 10 minutes posting something can turn into an hour and a half of scrolling or getting engaged with stuff. And so that's my little tip. Try not to put all your eggs in the Facebook, Instagram basket. Keep doing your beautiful reels. If you feel like doing the picker cards, do them. But that's my other little scary statistic about the picker card thing. I did picker cards on my Sal Jade clairvoyant healer Facebook page for a long time, like I reckon about 3 years. And look, I loved it. I love teaching cards. I love the tarot. But it took me 90 minutes each week, an hour and a half, and I'd probably spend an extra additional hour commenting on people and, like replying to them and da-da-da-da. Now, I noticed at the end of last year, when all this new Facebook stuff came in, that in that year, in the previous year, so 2021, I had grown maybe 800, 900 likes or followers in a year, spending 2.5 hours a week doing this one task. And I realised that, and people aren't really reaching out to me and asking me for readings, like they're not doing it through this way. I get some free offers for free, but when people want me to give them readings, I get contacted through my Udemy courses. So that's just a little clue there. Doing other things is what gets me, or even my YouTube channel. But people who are following the pick a card stuff and they're not asking me for paid readings. That's not converting. And if you start looking at that was 120 hours. And again, it's only 120 hours. It's not, in 1 year to grow by that much. And within that percentage, I probably did not return any income on that. And so you might be doing that right now. I don't want you to stop doing it if you love it and you've got plenty of time. But if you are finding that you are spending so much time doing that and you really would rather be finding other ideas, please focus on other things and cut that back, or maybe just do one once a month if you feel like you have built a following around it. The third thing, I hope that's helped, and again, post your questions, please. I'd love to hear them. The third thing is, and again, really common, most people do this, especially when they get started, is they treat running an online business exactly the same as if they were running an offline business, so an in-person or a physical business. This is so common, and I did this exactly as well. So for those of you who don't know how I got started, I started my business I walked into a shop, a crystal healing shop that sold books and crystals that had readers, and I asked for a job. That was, that's what many of us who want to become tarot readers wish could happen, but that's not the online world. That's not how it works. I was lucky. I did a reading for someone, I auditioned, I got the job. Great. I even got some extra work as a sales assistant in the crystal shop, so I learned even more, and that was even more fabulous. And I built up my business and eventually was able to leave at that and then build it up, and was weeks and weeks in advance, basically. Then I took my business online, and oh my goodness, that was like, whoa, thank goodness I still had my in-person reading clients, because that was like nothing. Like I think I love to tell the story of how when I started doing my first Udemy course, How to Be Psychic, it took me 6 months to make, and I think I made $29 in the first month. And I realized, and the first thing that happened to me online when I tried to sell something, which is even funnier, I went onto Reddit and I posted a free thing, basically, like, so free course, my How to Be Psychic free course, to help in the hope that people would sign up and like it, and the hope they would give reviews. I didn't make it conditional, because that's illegal to do on Udemy. I didn't say if you sign up you have to do a review, but I hoped that people would love it and leave reviews. First thing that happened is somebody got on there and yelled shouty capital letters at me. Oh, so meditation shouldn't be free, like, you're charging for this, and and just had the biggest spiel of their lifetime, like I had come in and robbed their house. And I was like, whoa. And, understandable. It was a meditation group, and I was there talking about spirituality, and I was selling a course, so I was giving away a course for free, and that offended that person. So I was obviously a little bit terrified, like, oh my God, I never want to go back on Reddit again, and I never did. But it was this moment of like, oh my goodness. And then interestingly enough, 100 people signed up. I got it really quickly. Less than 5% of those people even did my course. So that's, let alone left a review. So it's not such a great strategy to think that if you put these things out there, that necessarily they're going to convert to paying clients. But I realised that I had to change how I ran my business, and I had to start learning technology. And if those of you who are scared of technology, as I said, I'm doing this webinar, I'll have other solutions for you, but you do have to, at some stage, if you want to work online, then you've got to learn online technology. Like, it's different to owning a shop. I mean, that might seem really obvious, but things like understanding SEO, and keywords and how they work. And if you're starting to already wriggle in your seat and go, I don't want to do that, it's hard. Think how hard it is to post every day in Instagram and Facebook and come back in and check 3 times to see if anyone's liked it and get nothing, even if it's a free reading. Like, think about how hard that is to do day after day after day. It's much harder than spending a few hours learning about how to do SEO, or how to set up a Facebook business page, or how to do other things, and how to think about other strategies like email lists, or how to look at YouTube and how to expand what you're doing and learn that stuff. Like, even if you're doing a 4-hour course on Udemy on how to set your YouTube channel up, is so much better than doing 40 hours of posting on Instagram Reels, pick a card, talking about a tarot card, and getting no money. And that's my personal experience anyway. So I had to start investing in learning about how to do this technology. And even though it's not my favourite thing to do, it's made such a difference to my life. So please, and again, your business is, and what most people don't realise, and it's the build it, they will come thing, is if you own a shop, then you will get traffic coming in automatically to your shop because of, whatever the location is, or the position. If you're on a high street, or, if you've got a sign that leads to an alley, people are going to know, oh, it's down there, I want that. But on Facebook, there is just like, A, lots and lots of free offers, but B, and on online in general, but B, you have to get people to your offers. And so that is very different. And so you do need to invest some time in that, and it depends on where you're at. I mean, you might need to invest some money. Some of it you can do for free. Depends on how much time you've got. But again, you do, like, to just go, I don't want to do that. That's too hard. Then that's fine, but then don't work online. Find another way, basically, like work offline. And there's nothing wrong with working offline. I know lots and lots of readers. Like, one of my dear mentors, Zintra, she still works offline, and she still works in beautiful little market stalls and still makes a really good living doing what she loves. And if you're ever in Cairns, go to Rusty's. She gives fantastic readings. She's one of the best readers I've ever known. And so, people are still doing that. That's still working. But if you want to be online, then obviously you've got to learn about the online world. So I hope that has helped, my loves. And again, I don't want you to feel negative. I don't want you to walk off and feel ashamed. If you want to take some action steps, then sit down and reflect on how much time you spend on Instagram and Facebook right now, and how you could maybe give yourself back even an hour a day, half an hour a day. If you want to invest some time, again, in 2 weeks' time, I'm doing a webinar, Grow Your Online Tarot Business, or Grow Your Online Healing Business. It's going to help with the strategies, a 6 to 12-month plan on how you can change your current business strategy to improve it. And you are going to basically, I'm going to also answer any questions you have about running an online business. I'm there for the whole hour to answer any questions. And if you can't come live, you will get the replay as long as you have registered. So just make sure you click that link and register and you'll get that. So I hope that's helped everyone. And again, if anyone thinks, no, Sal, that's not right, or if you want to reach out to me on a more personal level, if you're like, I'd like to speak to you, because my lovely assistant Kathy handles all my messengers on Facebook, the best way to contact me is just go to www.saljade.com. This is what I'm like when I've been doing webinar preparation. Everything's flying in my head. Thank you, Queen of Cups. I need you back in my life. Queen of Swords, step aside. That's probably more of the Queen of Wands, actually, what I just did then. www.saljade.com and click on contact, and then you can send me a personal message that way. That's probably the easiest ways. So I'm going to be taking questions now. I hope that has helped everyone. Let's have a look. Hello, Marcy, Mercedes, Carolyn. Also, a lot of basic people now do pick a card by themselves because many commercial tarot decks are rising on the mainstream market. People that can't read tarot would do pick a card for fun. Yes. Yeah, and look, that's not there's no problem. Is that what, sorry, Carolyn, do you mean that's not a problem? Yeah, if you're doing it for fun and you're just doing it to have some fun with it, that's at all not a problem. But if you're doing what I was doing and investing 2.5 hours a week, then you might want to rethink that strategy. Now, when you say a lot of basic people are now doing pick a card by themselves, can you explain that a bit more? Do you mean they're using it as an affiliate way to get more sales from that tarot deck? Just let me know what you mean by that, hun. Sorry, I'm a bit confused and I haven't got my glasses with me, so I don't know if I'm reading it wrong. Hello, Francine. Thank you, Mercedes, for that. Definitely didn't want to spend money on ads. Yeah, they've done you no good at all, Francine says. Yeah, look, it's a fantastic strategy, but way down the track in your business, not especially when you're in the early, and just not to sell the readings too. Mercedes, never paid for ads. Yeah, Francine says it brought creepy men to her site. Mercedes, that sucks. So over 100 messages in a day. Yeah, look, that can happen. Chelsea, Facebook is definitely now, oh, wait a minute, I lost it there. Facebook is now getting ridiculous. I see more ads that I'm not interested in. Yeah, that's the thing. And you're like, what? Did they overhear my husband talking about tools? Why am I getting something for a tool? Then you actually want to see, we go to Facebook to get support, to find out things, to get resources. And so to suddenly just be getting bombarded by things you're not interested in is a little bit annoying. Thank you. If you use GoDaddy as a website, they have classes in everything you need to know about your website. Thank you, Francine. That is really good advice. So that's if you're struggling about the concept of starting a website, there are free resources you can use to do that. Marcy, thank you, so helpful. Thanks, Francine. No, I meant I was adding to you saying pick a card is not working anymore. Thank you, Carolyn. Sorry. Queen of Wands was in control then. She wasn't processing and listening like the Queen of Cups. Yes. So, yeah, it's just not working anymore. It was a great strategy a few years ago, but now it's just not really working. Can you say more about Instagram? Facebook seems hard, but Instagram works better. Instagram is working better, I think, for now. And because keep in mind, Facebook is, Instagram's only become their baby very recently. I think they're being a little bit more liberal with what they're letting you do there. So it can work better and you can seem to get greater reach. I definitely feel like I get greater reach on Instagram. I'm hardly on Instagram. And again, that's another reason why even Facebook for me, I'm on Facebook a lot, like 10, 12 hours a week. But I'm on Instagram maybe less than one, and I feel like I get, more responses on Instagram. Having said that, the limitations of Instagram, keep in mind, are that obviously, you can't do things like I'm doing now. You can't do these 20-minute presentations, so that's a bit more limited. But yes, Instagram I would definitely look at too. Okay, my loves, I hope that has helped. But I also want to add to that, again, yes, Instagram, great, but referring back to what I said in the beginning, if you are on Instagram and you're just doing pick a sparkle card or you're doing stuff like that, I want to, if you're telling me you're getting 20 to 30, 40 clients a week from that are paying you, then great. But if you're just doing that and you feel like maybe a little bit of reach, maybe 3 more people, if you're going in every day and checking how many people have liked it, which is what sucks a lot of the time, I might add. I do this. I go in and go, who liked my thing and how many, and if I'm checking that 3 times a day, I really could be doing more productive things. So yes, again, I don't want to bag Facebook or Instagram, but their goal is to keep us all on there constantly. And that means going back and our inadequacy feeling a little bit inadequate if enough people haven't liked it or commented on it. So that leads into a bit of a negative cycle itself. So yeah, I would just say, yes, Insta's better, but Insta's also a lot more limited. Like Insta, you can't put links. You can only put your link in the bio. Insta's more limited in what you can sell, I guess, so to speak. But yes, and the only reason I'm saying is I think Insta, yay now, but in a year's time, maybe Facebook might start changing the rules in Insta. Hello, April. Thank you so much. Again, I'm not saying they will, but I think it's highly likely if they've started bringing in... Oh, there's one more thing I want to talk to you about. I'm glad I didn't forget this. Again, I don't want to scare any of you, and I'm sure this has actually probably happened to some of you, but I have friends who have huge businesses on Facebook. They have spent years building up groups with 30,000 people. Some of them have spent like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on Facebook ads. And do you know what's happened to several of them in this year? Like 3 people I know well that I'm friends with who have spent thousands of hours and thousands of dollars on Facebook. They've been put in Facebook jail for stuff that wasn't even their fault. One of them got hacked, and that whatever that hacker did messed up their Facebook thing, put them in jail, even though they spend money on Facebook ads. Like, that to me is not really a long-term sustainable business strategy. And the problem is when you get put in Facebook jail, then you can't do anything. There's nothing you can do. So you're kind of powerless. There's no one who's going to get you out of that. Like, you often have to wait out the 30 days. And so that's just another thing I was going to add. Just, I'm not a fan of that happening, and that's why I'm starting to move off Facebook a little bit and explore other areas. But as I said, I'm going to do this seminar to show you a little bit more about how I've moved away and some of those results, in the hope that will inspire you too. Carolyn, I'll follow your next seminar about growing your business. Will you talk about how to bring traffic to our website outside of using... Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. How to bring traffic to your website outside of Instagram and Facebook. And I'm using my own business as an example and some of the incredible differences I have seen since I have changed my strategy and reduced the amount of things I'm doing on Facebook and Instagram. Open another account, lol. Keep 2 just in case. I know. I know. I mean, it's sad that we have to do that. But yes, that's, you've got to be really careful about investing too much in one pie. And look, that's smart business sense with everything. Like even me with Udemy, I love Udemy to bits, they're great, but they will change their rules. And they change them, and then suddenly I'm like, oh my goodness, this is massively impacting my sales. And so I have my own psychic healing academy that is my own, that no one can change rules on, that for me, that I do my higher level courses on. And I have that because that's like in case they bring in a rule that's really going to damage my sales. Okay, I hope that's Francine been in Facebook jail lots. Yes, it can sometimes not be difficult. Okay, thank you, my loves. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please let me know, or just reach out to saljade.com and click on contact and I can answer that. And let me know that you saw this so I know why you're reaching out to me. And I hope that's helped. And if you do want to come to that seminar, I will pop that link in the description. If you are on YouTube, it'll be in the description. It's going to be in the next few weeks. And if you are, or if you are on Facebook seeing this and it's on the featured, just go up to featured and the pinned post and you'll see it in there. Bye.